First, I want to thank BlackFridayPaintball.com. They helped us get this thing. We couldn't get one from Eclipse, which is kind of weird, but Black Friday Paintball, thank you guys. Getting bad, guys. What is going on, guys? Let's talk about this. So this isn't something we normally like to do. I rather give my opinions on stuff rather than read down a bunch of lists. Since these aren't out yet, and there's not a ton of information, let's name some features. One thing that's probably already super obvious is that it's almost all nylon, ballistic nylon, which means it uses the same material as the Gtek and Etek frame, the same, but this whole thing is nylon. So what's nylon? Well, maybe what's not nylon? So barrel's not nylon, on-off's not nylon, trigger's not nylon. Everything else, except for, I guess there's the part of the core of the engine, the actual bolt stuff's not nylon. There's some screws, but for the most part, everything you see right now, nylon. No hose, I think that's obvious. There's not a hose right here. No hose, no AT pipe, so like the CS1, it's hoseless. Pops on off. If you're not familiar with that, we'll show you how it works real fast. So we screw a tank on. See that little silver button on the side? Right there at the top? Yeah. You press that, bam, air's off. Press it down, whoa, whoa. Press it again, it's kind of stiff. Air's on, off. So the pops on offs are really cool. We really like those things. It makes everything real easy, and I don't know, they just simple and work well. So pops on off. What's kind of funky about these comparatively to the other Eclipse guns is they don't have a board in the frame. The trigger frame is boardless. That thing, there's no board in there. They put the board in the top of the trigger frame or in the top of the whole gun, somewhat like, yeah, I don't know, the Empire guns, like the Axe and stuff, have the board up there. Part of a board up there, not with the board in the foregrip, but it'll have all the same modes that come with the Etek, Gtex, so that means like NXL, PSP, semi-auto, whatever, all the firing modes. Power buttons right there, right there. I hold that down, bam, LED on both sides. That yellow right now is telling us that there's no paintball in there. Blue, paintball, ready to shoot. Battery is removable without tools. Grips can be taken off without tools. So this is like the coolest thing about this, I think. So on these, you pop tab down, push two buttons on the side, and this kind of wiggles out, and battery. Real easy to put back in. Put battery in. That's super cool. Trigger frame grips come off super easy. You pull back this tab like that. Then the back pries off like that. That grips off. Then you pry the front one off. Grips are off. Super simple. But there's really no reason to do that because there's nothing inside there. Speaking of nothing inside there, well, there is something inside there. So also, kind of like the CS1, how there's no hose, they put the regulator inside the trigger frame. So regs in the trigger frame, so that means all the velocity adjustments are done through the bottom, through that hole right there. Yeah, let's put the grips back on. So grips go back on real easy. We want to put that front one on first. They kind of just lock into place. Yeah, it's super simple, real easy. Bam, that one's on. Put that top one on first, or put it into the top first. Oh, I messed it up. Going too quick and holding it at a weird angle. So, bam, on there. Okay, grips are on. Super easy. Yeah, so the grip frame, I would say, shares a lot of similarities with the CS1. Air goes through it into the body and there's the regulator there, but one of the biggest complaints about the CS1 is that the frame is super, super wide. So if you look at that, it's not wide. I mean, there's my hand on it. Yeah, it feels good. It's just the same width as I don't know, most paintball guns. The biggest like spec sheet stat about this is that it uses the same exact core, engine, bolt, whatever we want to call it, as the Gtek and the 160R. So it has the Gamma core. Gamma core is great. It just freaking works. The only big difference between the two bolts is going to be that on the Gtek and 160R, they have that toolless bolt removal. These, as you can see my hand turning, these do not. Well, I guess it's toolless because I'm doing it without tools, but it's not quick release, we'll say. So there it is. So even though that it threads in, as long as you don't over tighten it, you can still get it out with your hands. Gamma core. So what do I actually like think about this thing? I don't know, should you buy one? So this is way better than the original Etha. The real Etha, or the original Etha, was super loud, was clanky, kicked a lot, and it was hard on paint. So yeah, this is a lot better. So being as it has the same core or engine bolt system as the Gtek and 160R, this thing is considerably more quiet, kicks way less, should be more air efficient, and way easier on paint than the original Etha. So even though it's $50 more than the original Etha, it's way better, like considerably better. It shoots great. I mean, it just, yeah, if anyone's shot that Gtek or 160R, I mean, really you can expect the same thing. There's not that much of a difference in shot quality, at least. The main differences between this and the Gtek or 160R is obviously construction's different. So as I said before, it's all nylon. This won't be able to upgrade to any OLED board. So if you really want that OLED screen, you're either gonna have to buy 160R or Gtek if you want that same Gamma core. Ergonomics are definitely different. There's no macro line, so the thing just feels different in your hand, or there's no air transfer tube, that AT pipe. So yeah, ergonomics feel quite a bit different. It feels really good to me. Like, I don't know, I couldn't ask for a better feeling gun, honestly. The one thing I don't like, which isn't really that big a deal, but the one thing I like more on the Gtex or 160R is the rubber foregrip. So this whole trigger frame is nylon, and then it carries down to the foregrip. So this is not like rubber, it's nylon. So it's hard, which again isn't that big a deal. But the grips also aren't very like soft. So the back part's rubber right here, and the front, right where your like, I don't know, bottom fingers go. But for the most part, it's kind of hard. So when holding it, it's not ergonomically like it feels good, like the distance and all that stuff feels good. But everything else is like pretty hard. So it's not as like high-end feeling as the other Planet Eclipse guns, where when you pick those up right away, the soft rubber on the trigger frame and foregrip definitely feel more premium. Planet Eclipse did this for one reason. Came out with this thing is to compete directly with the new axe. Both are going to be great guns. The axe isn't really technically out yet either, but essentially it's just a modernized version of the original axe. And feature-wise, I think when we look at a spec sheet of both the guns, they're going to be very, very similar. The only like huge glaring difference is going to be ergonomics. So the Axe 2.0 still has that foregrip pressed really close into the trigger frame. So ergonomics for a lot of people is going to be weird. You can't just grab the front of the foregrip like you can on the Etha. You kind of have to like palm the side of it or hold it super low. So I think overall ergonomically, this is the best $500, $400-ish paintball gun. So I kind of feel like Planet Eclipse made this too good. I don't know, I don't feel like that there's a reason for most people, like the average person, to buy either the Gtek or 160R. The Gtek's $150 more, so it's $550 when this thing's $400. I like this more. Like, I like how there's no hose. I like the pops on off. Yeah, when it's gonna shoot the same, I just don't see a value. I just don't know what I'm getting for that extra $150. And then the 160R is $800, and it's just all aluminum. That's like the only difference between that and the Gtek. So, yeah, This is a way better deal. It's $400 less than the 160R. So I can buy 2 of these for the price of 1 of the 160Rs. Or I could buy this, like a, I don't know, I could get a Spire 3 and like a Ninja SL tank, have a whole setup for the price of the 160R. So, I don't know. If I was you, I'd buy this. Because you're getting that same performance that comes with the Gtek and 160R. It's just $100 cheaper or half the price, which is crazy to me. I mean, you think that like this gun's pretty much going to shoot the exact same as both of those, and or more money. So looking at it from Planet Eclipse, it's like I feel like it's too good. Yeah, it's like why they've given their customers no reason to spend that extra $150 or $400. So yeah. Something I didn't talk about was that Planet Eclipse is going to open source this body. So inside the body there's usually just an aluminum sleeve, and this is just covered in nylon, so that they're going to open source it. So they're going to give away the file that people with 3D printers can print like all kinds of crazy bodies. So you got to think you could print like a body with like a crazy barrel shroud or like a stock or something crazy, or you could get rid of this little hump in the back and make it more streamlined, make it cooler looking, I guess. So if you can't tell, I'm a fan. I like this thing. So if you're in the market for a paintball gun and you have $400 to spend, yeah, this is good. Or if you have $300 to spend and you're looking at the Mini GS, this is still better. So I'm buying this over the Mini GS. I'd wait and save that extra $100 if you can. Or if you're in that $500 price, I'm choosing this over the Gtek. I don't know if I'm choosing it over the Axe Pro, because the Axe Pro is $550, and that's a good deal. I like the Axe Pro. It's all aluminum, comes with the OLED board. Those are really nice. So I don't know. So for a quick size comparison, it's about the same length as my dog. Yeah. If you made it to the end of this, congratulations. We want to tell you about something. These are all headbands we made. My personal favorite is that sweet banana one. Or I like this Vans one. I'm kind of confused. That might be copywritten. I don't know. But all these are different. Check them out. Cool Nebula ones. One might be fitting. Gore people. Go there, buy stuff from us because I appreciate it.